Let's talk about Barry for a little bit before we move on to Sweetness, who, shocking, is on my Mount Rushmore as a Bear fan growing up with him and everything. I remember when Walter Payton ended his career, he figured Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith would break his all-time career record. Now, obviously, Barry didn't because he retired a little earlier than we would have liked to see. But I still have nightmares 30 years later. I mean, do you remember what year? I think we talked about it in previous episodes. The Thanksgiving tradition started in Detroit.
Oh, the 30s.
Oh wow, it goes
Um,
way back then. I would have believed if you told me it started in the 90s because people wanted to watch Barry Sanders play football. Because that's what I remember. I remember sitting down with my family watching the Bears lose to Barry Sanders, where we would have him bottled up for like minus 15 yards at halftime, going, "Oh my God, the Bears are up 10. We're stopping Barry Sanders. We're going to win this." And then we'd start the second half and we'd have three guys in the backfield pinning Barry Sanders in, and somehow they would all miss the tackles. And then he's running 60 yards for a touchdown. And then before you know it, he has 180 yards and three touchdowns, and the Bears lose by 15. And you're like, what the heck just happened? And like, it's weird to think about it from a running back in today's era. Like, we think about like you have to have a huge lead on Mahomes because you leave him close. He's going to make a couple of drives in the fourth quarter, Tom Brady, etc. I had that feeling with Barry Sanders. Like in the fourth quarter, he was two plays away from just dropping 14 points and flipping the game and catching up or breaking open a close one. And it was scary watching him. I mean, no matter what you did to him, you're always one guy slipping, one guy missing a tackle away from losing the game is what it felt like from playing against him twice a year. What was it like rooting for him on the other side of the ball?
it was all kinds of fun. I mean, you have to realize that Barry Sanders played in the 90s, in which is not the current pass heavy era, but it was getting there. And under Barry Sanders, the Lions were a division winner, not every year, but they were winning the division or they were in the conversation most years. And they were doing all of this with basically absolutely no quarterback. If you haven't done it, go onto YouTube and pull up a video of like Barry Sanders 50 most amazing plays or something like that. And it's just play after play after play of him looking like he is a dead duck in the backfield and then breaking away for 50 yards.
Those lines were terrible for the Lions too, not just bad quarterback play.
I mean, Barry Sanders every year it seemed led the league in breakout runs of 15 or more and runs for loss.
Well, and that's what makes me kind of chuckle because that's the knock is people who are Emmett Smith fanboys over him is Emmett didn't have a lot of negative losses, but I'm going to hold that against him because I watched the Cowboys Lions, and when the first guy that can get to you is 5 yards down the field, it's hard to run for negative yards. Where, like Joe was saying, watch the Barry Sanders highlights. There'll be three or four guys in the backfield where Barry's making a miss. And the crazy part about Barry is he got so low to the ground. Like there'd be plays where like he would shake a tackler and like his shoulder would be like inches from the ground as he's just like using a shoulder whip to throw the guy past him, and then he's just juking, and you blink and he's going the other way at 50 miles an hour. You're like, what just happened? I thought he was on the ground.
The coach at the time for most of the best years of Barry Sanders' career was Wayne Fonts, and he would specifically scheme one player to come free through the line, and that was just Barry's guy to beat. And he would do it more than 50% of the time. But here's the thing that was blowing my mind. Those videos, 50 greatest Barry Sanders plays or whatever, he only played in 153 games in his career. So he was popping off one of those unbelievable once in a lifetime plays every third game.
Highlights were very often. I don't know. I would say every game, multiple times from what I remember, but you're probably right. It was probably every third game, but it felt like more in the moment.
Yeah, you felt like it every time you watched a Lions game, you felt like it was just a matter of time before Barry Sanders did something amazing.
Yes, exactly. It was just wait, like he might have not done anything for three quarters, but something was coming. You just didn't know when it was going to be. You couldn't get up from your seat. You did not want to go to the bathroom during a Lions game when Scary Barry was on the field.
This is Joe Smith from the Midwest Football Podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It all helps us grow our show. Look for our full show too, anywhere you find podcasts. Links below.